week on Inside Richmond Hill Football. We'll get caught up on how this week's bye week helped us out for this week's game against Effingham. And later we'll talk about some of the student athletes that didn't quite make it to our show. Stick with us to hear a little bit about how we're going to bring the game to Effingham. All that and more to come on Inside Richmond Hill Football. I'm your host, Chandler Espino, alongside Coach Matt Lizotte. Coach, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Man, really pumped for this Effingham game.
Ready to go. To go. The regular season finale is always fun, especially when you know you got some games ahead of you potentially in the playoffs. But there's nothing like finishing another season, seeing how far we've come, and being in a situation that we're in, it makes it really exciting. Yeah,
and before we go into all of Effingham's game that we're going to have, and even after that for the playoff games, let's talk a little bit about this past bye week and even the game before that.
Well, I'll tell you, the bye week, the bye week allowed us to get some guys a little rest, allowed us to fine-tune some things. We were able to kind of go back to our roots and work on some individual stuff and get better at the position play, our stance and starts, all the small things, and we were able to get a lot of our young guys reps and got a lot of good work in over the week. So, now we've flipped the script a little bit, and we're geared towards Effingham. Our coach has been working really hard and gotten that little extra time of preparation. But we tend to focus on ourselves more than we do our opponents. Just because we feel like we can control and dictate a lot of the things that happen in a game, and so we used last week as a time to do that. We'll get it going and look for a good game on Friday night.
Man, we really are. All right, stick with us to hear a little bit more about the student athletes.
Whip it Tesla, spinners looking kinda ass. Find me bumping on my feet, I'm sorry that I'm clever. Wear a cap and gown, just make it better. Dodge my ass.
Really? Seriously, you're here in front of me because you're doing this jewel thing. Don't do this here, not only in Richmond High School, but anywhere. You will be suspended, each one of you, for the next 2 days.
I'm faster than myself, it's hard to measure. I'll fall for 2 more racks, not pretty girls, I love her never. Whoa, whip electric, pockets looking hectic. Butterfly doors when I let your...
We got chicken biscuits, McGriddles, and breakfast burritos.
Can I get a McGriddle? Let's see.
Can you get me one too, please?
You got your own money?
Max, come on.
Yeah. All right.
Max.
All right, Coach, tell us a little bit about Tommy Bliss. Now, these are some key players that were not featured on the show, so you might have heard their name earlier, but we're going to go ahead and hit it now with the package.
So, well, Tommy's a guy that's a great effort guy. He's focused on the task at hand. He gives great effort every single day that he's around. Very serious guy. You ask him to do something, he's yes sir, and he goes and does it. And what we were asking of him was he was having to get some reps on offense, and then he was having to go play scout team offense, and he had 0 breaks, and he was just bang, 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 bang. And when you play the receiver position, it can get a little grueling, and it can wear you down, but he's one of those guys that just digs deep and perseveres, and we're very proud of him, and he got the scout team player of the week.
Let's take a look.
Tommy Bliss was only 7 years old when he discovered his desire to play football. Now, as a sophomore in high school, Tommy plays as a wide receiver for Richmond Hill Wildcats and was named Scout Team Player of the Week after the game against New Hampstead.
I was just proud. I was happy with the work I had done. It had been a while since I played on Scout Team and really been successful, and so it just felt great.
After receiving Scout Team Player of the Week, Tommy has more confidence in himself, whether that be during practice or at our Friday night games.
I kind of had high hopes for the rest of the season, and it kind of keeps me going. Every now and then when I feel low, it reminds me of what I could do.
Tommy remains determined to perform his best as number 21 on the field as our Richmond Hill Wildcats begin to prepare for the playoffs of the season.
All right, Coach, we have another scout team player, Khalil Berry. Tell us a little about him.
Well, I'll tell you, I was very proud to announce Khalil Berry as a scout team player and for him to walk out as a captain. You know, this guy that's changed positions multiple times since he's been here at Richmond Hill, and we're still trying to find a fit, but he's been giving great effort on the field, great effort in the weight room. Just all around, he's maturing, and it showed in his practice, and he provided a good look for us and earned the award.
Let's see what they have to say.
I'm Riley Price, and this is Scout Player of the Week.
Khalil Berry plays cornerback for our JV team, and he's extremely proud of himself that he was awarded Scout Player of the Week.
They were naming all the people, like Lifter of the Week and Player of the Week and Academic Player of the Week. And when Coach called my name for Scout Player of the Week, I was like, oh wow, me. I was pretty proud of him.
He works hard both on the field and in the weight room.
I work.
And later we'll talk about some of the student athletes that didn't quite make it to our show. Stick with us to hear a little bit about how we're going to bring the game to Effingham. All that and more to come on Inside Richmond Hill Football. I'm your host, Chandler Espino, alongside Coach Matt Lizotte. Coach, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Man, really pumped for this Effingham game.
Ready to go. Ready to go. The regular season finale is always fun, especially when you got some games ahead of you potentially in the playoffs. But there's nothing like finishing another season, seeing how far we've come, and being in a situation that we're in, it makes it really exciting.
Yeah, and before we go into all of Effingham's game that we're going to have, and even after that for the playoff games, let's talk a little bit about this past bye week and even the game before that.
Well, I'll tell you, the bye week, the bye week allowed us to get some guys a little rest, allowed us to fine-tune some things. We were able to kind of go back to our roots and work on some individual stuff and get better at the position play, our stance and starts, all the small things, and we were able to get a lot of our young guys reps and got a lot of good work in over the week. So, now we've flipped the script a little bit, and we're geared towards Effingham. Our coach has been working really hard and gotten that little extra time of preparation. But we tend to focus on ourselves more than we do our opponents. Just because we feel like we can control and dictate a lot of the things that happen in a game, and so we used last week as a time to do that. We'll get it going and look for a good game on Friday night.
Man, we really are. All right, stick with us to hear a little bit more about the student athletes.
Whip it Tesla, spinners looking kinda ashy. Find me bumping on my feet, I'm sorry that I'm clever. Wear a cap and gown, just make me better. Dodge my ass.
Really? Seriously, you're here in front of me because you're doing this jewel thing. Don't do this here, not only at Richmond High School, but anywhere. You will be suspended, each one of you, for the next 2 days.
I'm faster than myself, it's hard to measure. I'll fall for 2 more racks, not pretty girls, I love her never. Whoa, whip electric, pockets looking hectic. Butterfly doors when I let your...
We got chicken biscuits, McGriddles, and breakfast burritos.
Can I get a McGriddle? Let's see.
Can you get me one too, please?
You got your own money?
Max, come on.
Yeah, alright.
Max.
All right, Coach, tell us a little bit about Tommy Bliss. Now, these are some key players that were not featured on the show, so you might have heard their name earlier, but we're going to go ahead and hit it now with the package.
So, well, Tommy's a guy that's a great effort guy. He is focused on the task at hand. He gives great effort every single day that he's around. Very serious guy. You know, you ask him to do something, he's yes sir, and he goes and does it. And what we were asking of him was he was having to get some reps on offense, and he was having to go play scout team offense, and he had 0 breaks, and he was just bang, 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 bang. And when you play the receiver position, it can get a little grueling, and it can wear you down, but he's one of those guys that just digs deep and perseveres, and we're very proud of him, and he got the Scout Team Player of the Week.
Let's take a look.
Tommy Bliss was only 7 years old when he discovered his desire to play football. Now, as a sophomore in high school, Tommy plays as a wide receiver for Richmond Hill Wildcats and was named Scout Team Player of the Week after the game against New Hampstead.
I was just proud. I was happy with the work I had done. It had been a while since I played on Scout Team and really been successful, and so it just felt great.
After receiving Scout Team Player of the Week, Tommy has more confidence in himself, whether that be during practice or at our Friday night games.
I kind of had high hopes for the rest of the season, and it kind of keeps me going. Every now and then when I feel low, it reminds me of what I could do.
Tommy remains determined to perform his best as number 21 on the field as our Richmond Hill Wildcats begin to prepare for the playoffs of the season.
All right, Coach, we have another Scout Team player, Khalil Berry. Tell us a little about him.
Well, I'll tell you, I was very proud to announce Khalil Berry as a Scout Team player and for him to walk out as a captain. You know, this guy that's changed positions multiple times since he's been here at Richmond Hill, and we're still trying to find a fit, but he's been giving great effort on the field, great effort in the weight room. Just all around, he's maturing, and it showed in his practice, and he provided a good look for us and earned the award.
Let's see what they have to say.
I'm Riley Price, and this is Scout Player of the Week.
Khalil Berry plays cornerback for our JV team, and he's extremely proud of himself that he was awarded Scout Player of the Week.
They were naming all the people, like lifter of the week and player of the week and academic player of the week. And when Coach called my name for a Scout Player of the Week, I was like, oh wow, me. I was pretty proud of myself.
He works hard both on the field and in the weight room.
I work really hard. I really have, weight room wise and on the field. And I'm not saying I just want to get noticed or I want to have some type of, oh, look at Barry, but I think I worked hard enough to earn it.
Khalil Berry enjoys the physical contact of football.
I just like the aggression, like the physical contact. You can take all your anger out with somebody else. It's get your blood.
Khalil feels supported by his friends and strives to prove those who have doubted him wrong.
There's always going to be somebody or people that aren't going to believe that you have a certain ability to do something. So you just got to be humble and show them, who you're wrong, show them what you can do.
This has been Riley Price reporting for Inside Richmond Hill Football.
All right, Coach, our last player is an academic player, Zach McGowan. Can you tell us a little about him?
Well, Zach's a guy that's done a 180 academically, and he's really given attention to detail and had some great scores on some tests, and teachers have been talking about him in a good way, and very proud of him because, there's a reason that student comes before athlete and student athlete. You got to take care of that school side first, and the fact that he's given that detail and not just floating by matters to me. It matters to our team, but most importantly, it matters to him. And that's the big difference and the big change in his life. And so he's very well deserved of this award.
Let's see.
Thanks, Chandler. Now let's take a look at this week's Academic Player of the Week, Zach McGowan. Zachary McGowan is a determined defensive end for our Richmond Hill High School varsity football team. Zachary has been playing football since he was only 9 years old. He's pushed heavily by his parents, both on the field and definitely in school. Zach always strives to be the greatest in everything he does, and that definitely does not exclude the classroom.
Being able to get good, for the scouts to see me and me get better, stronger, so I can go to college.
Along the support of Zach's parents, the football team and players always push Zach to do the best anytime, anywhere. Congratulations to Zachary McGowan for this week's Academic Player of the Week. This has been Jeremy Smith reporting for Inside Richmond Hill Football. Back to you, Chandler.
We'll be back after the break. walk into Papa's Pizza to... I need a large, regular pepperoni pizza.
How we're going to bring the game to Effingham. All that and more to come on Inside Richmond Hill Football. I'm your host, Chandler Espino, alongside Coach Matt Lizotte. Coach, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Man, really pumped for this Effingham game.
Ready to go. Ready to go. The regular season finale is always fun, especially when you know you got some games ahead of you potentially in the playoffs. But there's nothing like finishing another season, seeing how far we've come, and being in a situation that we're in, it makes it really exciting.
Yeah, and before we go into all of Effingham's game that we're going to have, and even after that for the playoff games, let's talk a little bit about this past bye week and even the game before that.
Well, I'll tell you, the bye week, the bye week allowed us to get some guys a little rest, allowed us to fine-tune some things. We were able to kind of go back to our roots and work on some individual stuff and get better at the position play, our stance and starts, all the small things, and we were able to get a lot of our young guys reps and got a lot of good work in over the week. So, you know, now we've flipped the script a little bit, and we're geared towards Effingham. Our coach has been working really hard and gotten that little extra time of preparation. But you know, we tend to focus on ourselves more than we do our opponents. Just because we feel like we can control and dictate a lot of the things that happen in a game, and so we used last week as a time to do that. We'll get it going and look for a good game on Friday night.
Man, we really are. All right, stick with us to hear a little bit more about the student athletes.
Whip it, Tesla. Spinners looking kinda extra. Find me bumping on my feet. I'm sorry that I'm clever. Wear a cap and gown, just make me better. Dodge my exit.
Really? Seriously, you're here in front of me because you're doing this jewel thing. Don't do this here, not only in Richmond High School, but anywhere. You will be suspended, each one of you, for the next 2 days.
I'm faster than myself, it's hard to measure. I'll fall for 2 more racks, not pretty girls, I love her never. Whoa, whip electric, pockets looking hectic. Butterfly doors when I let your...
We got chicken biscuits, McGriddles, and breakfast burritos.
Can I get a McGriddle? You know, let's see.
Can you get me one too, please?
You got your own money?
Max, come on.
Yeah, alright.
Max.
All right, Coach, tell us a little bit about Tommy Bliss. Now, these are some key players that were not featured on the show, so you might have heard their name earlier, but we're going to go ahead and hit it now with the package.
So, well, Tommy's a guy that's a great effort guy. He is focused on the task at hand. He gives great effort every single day that he's around. Very serious guy. You know, you ask him to do something, he's yes sir, and he goes and does it. And what we were asking of him was he was having to get some reps on offense, and he was having to go play scout team offense, and he had 0 breaks, and he was just bang, 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 bang. And when you play the receiver position, it can get a little grueling, and it can wear you down, but he's one of those guys that just digs deep and perseveres, and we were very proud of him, and he got the Scout Team Player of the Week.
Let's take a look.
Tommy Bliss was only 7 years old when he discovered his desire to play football. Now, as a sophomore in high school, Tommy plays as a wide receiver for Richmond Hill Wildcats and was named Scout Team Player of the Week after the game against New Hampstead.
I was just proud. I was happy with the work I had done. It had been a while since I played on the Scout Team and really been successful, and so it just felt great.
After receiving Scout Team Player of the Week, Tommy has more confidence in himself, whether that be during practice or at our Friday night games.
I kind of had high hopes for the rest of the season. and it kind of keeps me going every now and then when I feel low. It reminds me of what I could do.
Tommy remains determined to perform his best as number 21 on the field as our Richmond Hill Wildcats begin to prepare for the playoffs of the season.
All right, Coach, we have another scout team player, Khalil Berry. Tell us a little about him.
Well, I'll tell you, I was very proud to announce Khalil Berry as a scout team player and for him to walk out as a captain. You know, this guy that's changed positions multiple times since he's been here at Richmond Hill, and we're still trying to find a fit, but he's been giving great effort on the field, great effort in the weight room. Just all around, he's maturing, and it showed in his practice, and he provided a good look for us and earned the award.
Let's see what they have to say.
I'm Riley Price, and this is Scout Player of the Week.
Khalil Berry plays cornerback for our JV team, and he's extremely proud of himself that he was awarded Scout Player of the Week.
They were naming all the people, like lifter of the week and player of the week and academic player of the week. And when Coach called my name for a Scout Player of the Week, I was like, oh wow, me. I was pretty proud of myself.
He works hard both on the field and in the weight room.
I work really hard. I really have, weight room wise and on the field. And I'm not saying I just want to get noticed or I want to have some type of, oh, look at Barry, but I think I worked hard enough to earn it.
Khalil Berry enjoys the physical contact of football.
I just like the aggression, like physical contact. You can take all your anger out with somebody else. It's get your blood flowing.
Khalil feels supported by his friends and strives to prove those who have doubted him wrong.
There's always going to be somebody or people that aren't going to believe that you have a certain ability to do something. So you just got to be humble and show them, who you're wrong, show them what you can do.
This has been Riley Price reporting for Inside Richmond Hill Football.
All right, Coach, our last player is an academic player, Zach McGowan. Can you tell us a little about him?
Well, Zach's a guy that's done a 180 academically, and he's really given attention to detail and had some great scores on some tests, and teachers have been talking about him in a good way, and very proud of him because, there's a reason that student comes before athlete and student athlete. You got to take care of that school side first, and the fact that he's given that detail and not just floating by matters to me. It matters to our team, but most importantly, it matters to him, and that's the big difference and the big change in his life. And so he's very well deserved of this award.
Let's see.
Thanks, Chandler. Now let's take a look at this week's.
Alongside Coach Matt Lizotte. Coach, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Man, really pumped for this Effingham game.
Ready to go. Ready to go. The regular season finale is always
Good afternoon and welcome to the Effingham County School as we are out here, Richmond Hill, playing one of our last games before the playoffs against Effingham. Wyatt's over here with me, and we are having a ton of technical difficulties. So if you are watching this on YouTube, this will be a post-game post because we do not have the rights to stream on the Wi-Fi that we are at right now at the school that we're at. So everything that you're hearing now is going to come from me and Wyatt, and we're super excited to talk over this game. Wyatt, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. We missed quite a bit of football to start this game, though. So if we want to go through how this game started, we kicked off first, and then Effingham County, I'm not sure who the player was, they muffed the ball. They started out very bad field position. They went 3 and out, punted back to us, but on the return we fumbled and gave them back the ball. Forced another 3 and out, and now we have the ball here, and there have been quite a few penalties to start this drive. So now the Wildcats are taking the field back here.
Wildcats are right now. I mean, the score is still 0-0. We've got, we're 6:53 now left in the first quarter. It's actually, I mean, I don't know much to say about the game so far. We haven't been able to see a whole lot. I mean, Effingham didn't come out too hot with their first kickoff, but Richmond Hill seems to be playing their offense as well as Effingham's offense.
There's a quarterback keeper for Isaiah Allen down the sideline.
And pushed out around the 27-yard line.
That's a good run. But there's a flag on the field there. We'll see if this one goes back.
See what they have to say. Yeah, it looks like they're going to bring that on Richmond.
A lot of flags to start this game tonight. It'll be holding offense, and we'll have to start second down again. There have been flags, maybe 3 or 4 to start this game already. But we'll go back a few yards and start again. Isaiah Allen will sub out, and Tyler Coleman will sub in.
Here we go, as we are on the 44th yard line.
Second down, 16 yards here for the Wildcats. Motion inside. Fakes the handoff. Fumbled, and it's picked up by Effingham, but he won't get far. Tyler Coleman. So 2 fumbles now for the Wildcats. It's been a big, costly mistakes here. Tried to fake the handoff to Kenyon Hunter, give it to Ashad Robertson, but fumble on the handoff. And now Effingham will have the ball here and on the Wildcat side of the field. They'll put him at the 29-yard line.
Man, that's not too hot for Richmond Hill. Coaches aren't so happy on the sideline, but no one would as his second fumble within a really 6-minute period.
You know, Richmond Hill's going into this game as the region champs, but you can't stop playing this early. You got to get through every game like they're a big challenge. Season hasn't been too nice on Effingham. You know, I believe they're 2-7 now. It's been a rough season, but we're not going to put that past them. They've been very good to start this game here.
That's true, and then they're on the 30-yard line right now. I think it's brought back a fair bit.
It's a good stop by the Wildcat defense, and it'll be 2nd and 10 here.
See if the Wildcats can catch them up a little bit. Hopefully our defense is bringing out their game tonight.
Quarterback looks to throw, and that's picked off. Jordan Clark, and he's going to run it back, and he falls. And there's a flag there.
I watched that one. That was number 87. Got tumbled by one of our players.
So looks like it'll be addressed at the on the return, though, and we'll go back a few yards, but we should still hold the ball.
I just said, here comes Richmond Hill with going to bring it back. Man, tell us a little bit what you think about what you think just happened. I mean, between Richmond Hill and Effingham, what's really going through our players' heads right now?
Well, I mean, 2 turnovers already for the Wildcats, and now 1 for the Rebels. It's been a very defensive game so far to start. So refs are going to talk this over. We'll see what the penalty was on.
Hopefully it doesn't cause us to... Well, you know what?
A lot of time stoppage here.
That's right. What y'all can't see right now is the fan section of Richmond Hill is filled up tonight. It's really, really a good night out here. I mean, it's real chilly, but Wyatt, how do you think this game's going to be played throughout the night?
I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be very defensive minded here. It's a cold game, so holding on to that ball is going to be a real issue for both teams. As the Wildcats will step back here, but they will have the ball
at the 15-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10.
Offense comes out here on the field.
So, I mean, really, this is the game before the playoff. It's one of our last.
There's a direct snap for Jalen Rouse on the outside. He'll be close to the first down. We'll see what the refs say. But you talk about last game of the season here. I mean, any game you don't want to lose. It's a momentum shift here. Wildcats want this momentum going into the playoffs.
You're right. We were talking about that in the team meal. Really, with you got to be a winner. Everybody who's talking about anything that has to do with as long as you bring your game, you still won. Like, they were really talking pregame about how you got to be the winner, man.
Jalen Rouse, another direct snap there. Didn't get much. So it'll be 2nd and 10 here. Tyler Coleman back out on the field now.
This is 2nd down and 11 right now. Looks like we're on the 24-yard line. Time on the clock's 5:11. Just let the clock tick down a little bit.
Snap. Fakes the handoff to Rouse. Throws it to Jordan Clark, who is brought down. So he'll get a few yards there, but it'll be 3rd and long now.
See if we could throw the ball down the field a little bit farther, or even if we can run it and find a good pass through. I mean, that's really what we're looking at right now.
Well, this possession has gone back and forth between both teams. I believe maybe this is the 6th time I believe the ball has changed possessions in this first quarter. So, you know, not a great start for either offense, but you know, very good for the defense. As Tyler Coleman snap, fakes handoff, throw, Tavion Cheney, that's dropped. So it'll be 4th down now. And Wildcats are going to punt this one back to the Rebels. Unsuccessful drive there. That was a good pass by Tyler Coleman, but Tavion Cheney could not get it down. Holding on to that ball, especially in this cold, cold weather. Not going to be easy tonight. Tyler Coleman punts it deep. Returner call for the fair catch there at about the 31-yard line. And the Rebels offense will take the field again here. This Wildcat defense so far been very good, stopping the run. That sack for Shaquan Brooks. Also that tackle for loss on the run there. He's been a monster so far to start this game. But at some point, we begin to tire the defense out. Rebels here with 2 receivers out wide, 1 in the slot. That's fumbled. The snap was fumbled. Quarterback recovers, and now there's a flag on the field. A little something after the play, possibly. So the refs are going to talk it over here. We'll see who this is on. See what the penalty's on here.
Hey,
that'll be personal foul, offsetting both sides.
That's on Effingham, so not on Richmond Hill this time.
It's on both.
Oh, wow.
There's offsetting penalties. Oh. Okay. They'll replay the downs here where the ball was set earlier. So instead of a fumbled snap that helped this offense, or helped this defense, I mean, they'll replay first down. Looks like they might have to reset the clock here too.
They might. Hey, you know what, TJ Vander Ark, do you want to tell us a little bit about some of the expectations you have for tonight's game while you're in the box real quick?
Let's see, what do we got for tonight? So, as Wyatt said earlier, it's very chilly and cold, so I see a lot of dropping of the football. I see that to be a huge issue. I see passes to not really be an option. I've seen our defense in practice has really been going for that run game as well, so I know that's definitely what they're looking at. I know we have a few tricks up our sleeve, I'm not going to lie, a few screen passes, all that fun stuff, so we'll see if maybe we can pull some of those out of our hat and see what we got.
And this Effingham team, they've been coming out running the ball early. It's not been going good for them. They get a good one right there, though.
Yeah, what was that, 4 yards it looks like? That was a good run. It's definitely better than we've been seeing, -1, -4. It's definitely going to be a defensive game. I agree with what you said earlier, Wyatt. Definitely a defensive game. This weather's just not, it's not good.
So 3rd and 5 here. Rebels looking to convert. They haven't been able to do it earlier. They've gone 3 and out 2 times earlier in this game. But
we're still in the first quarter. This has been a lot of change on downs for it only to be the first quarter.
And
only
the Wildcats,
what, 2 minutes left.
They've been hurting themselves with these fumbles.
Another thing I'm really worried about is injuries, especially like pulling muscles and stuff.
And there's a penalty.
Man, look at all those flags. How many flags is that today? That's got to be, I think, 6, 7.
It's been way too much for this to be fun. There's too much time stoppage here in this game right now.
Looks like it was a false start on Effingham. That'll bring them back 5 yards.
So, looks like it'll be 3rd and 10 now, and this is looking worse for Effingham if they want to convert here.
This is a big down here. See if they can't keep possession of the ball.
All right. Looks like we got 2 receivers on each side here. Effingham looking to throw. There's pressure, and that one hits the ground.
He threw that ball right at the receiver's knees. Not much he could do. It's a good job on defense, applying the pressure, really closing in that pocket.
Rebels quarterback there, that's Matthew Ford. Not able to convert. So Effingham, they'll bring out the punter. And Kenyon Hunter is going to be set to return here. Hopefully we'll get a better return than last time. Last time we did, Kenyon Hunter fumbled the ball and Effingham got it back. There's the punt.
That was a good deep punt.
And muffed again.
It went right through his fingers. Looks like Effingham recovered.
It looked like Kenyon Hunter wasn't even paying attention to it. I'm not sure what was happening there.
I think he looked up. He saw the ball going into his hands, and he looked up too quick.
Costly mistakes on the special teams here for the Wildcats.
Yep, that'll be Effingham ball. That's not good. The defense is looking for a little bit of a rest, especially since they know they're having a long night tonight.
So instead, the Wildcat offense will take the field back with, the Rebel offense will take the field here with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
That kick was basically a gain of 40 yards.
Yeah, it's almost like a 4th down conversion they made there. So instead, Matthew Ford dumps it off to number 5 there. Doesn't get much. That's Tyler Boone on the run.
A loss of 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah. So, defense not doing too bad so far. They've been getting some good stops on the Rebels team, but that special teams and the fumbles have been a serious issue for the Wildcats tonight. So, 2nd and 13 here for the Rebels. They got 2 receivers set wide, 1 in the backfield.
Oh, a lot
fakes
of
the handoff.
miscommunication.
Quarterback keeper. Looks like he was trying to hand off right.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that was on purpose.
You sure?
Yeah, he turned so either the quarterback read that play wrong or the running back did, because one of them turned the wrong way. I think that was supposed to be a handoff, not a keeper.
You're right. It looked like the quarterback was trying to hand off right, but the running back was on his left, and so he just decided to run with it. And
yeah, I agree. I think that was just bad signals, because then it looked like the quarterback panicked and started to run.
So this first quarter's coming to a close here, and a 3rd and long for the Rebels. Very familiar situation for them. They have not converted a single 3rd down yet. And being this far behind, this play clock is running down actually.
Effingham's going to call a timeout here with 20 seconds left in the first quarter.
You're right. That's their 2nd one in the first half.
I think they just didn't have good time management running out of
They
game
were
clock.
running up there to get set. Not fast enough. They had 4 seconds left on that play clock. So they'll get a little extra time, talk it over. I mean, they've had some troubles on these 3rd down conversions, so.
Indeed, yeah. That'll bring down to 1 timeout for the rest of the half, so that was a timeout they didn't want to waste there.
Could be costly if they're in a position in the 2nd quarter where time is running out and they're behind. So 20 seconds now in the first quarter. Rebels offense will come back out on the field, try to get something going here. They've been unable to convert in 3rd downs. And a few miscommunication errors here also. And the fouls in this game, there have been way too many. So they've got motion inside, handoff Tyler Boone, doesn't get it.
At the line.
So another 3 and out. This Wildcat defense.
The defense is doing amazing.
Yeah, they've been
special teams that hasn't turned it over, it seems like.
They've been doing a good job stopping the run and forcing that pressure on the passes. Jordan Clark had an interception early in this game, and Shaquan Brooks had a sack. This defense has been all over the place.
Hopefully they get a little bit of a rest here.
Yeah, this first quarter comes to a close, scoreless. We'll switch sides of the field, and we'll be looking at possibly a punt here for Effingham. It's going to be a low-scoring game today. Very defensive. Something I like to see a lot.
Is it? Is that what you like?
Oh, I love low-scoring games.
So like the last Super Bowl was more your kind of game, was more defensive game, less scoring.
I didn't watch the last Super Bowl. I'm not interested in the Patriots or the
you
Rams.
missed out on a great game, I'll tell you that.
So, looks like we'll be seeing the special teams come out. They've been having some struggles early in the first quarter. 2 fumbles now for Kenyon Hunter. 1 on that handoff to Ashad Robertson. It's been a rough game here.
Let's see what they're going for here. It looks like they are going to punt it. Wildcats don't even have anyone in the back to receive, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here.
I think they went out ready for a field goal.
I think they're banking on the fact that
It's gonna
that
go out of the
Effingham
end
might
zone.
kick this out of the end zone. But I don't know. Effingham, they've been practicing these really short kicks, and that one gets a good bounce, and it'll be down at about the 6. Saw them practicing before this game started on those coffin corner punts. Not sure why Richmond Hill didn't put a returner. I guess after all those issues we've been having, we just want to have the ball on offense.
Might have been safer. Try to get that defense a little bit of a break in here. See what we can't do. I mean, the 6 isn't a horrible spot to be. It's
Instead
better
of,
than the 1.
putting the Rebels in a spot in the red zone where they can score. Well, we've had drives longer than this, so.
For sure. All it takes is one good play.
And it looks like we're going to go with another direct snap for Jalen Rouse.
Wildcat position here.
Runs right, cuts in, still fighting for it. Gain of maybe 1, if any. A lot of runs to start this game. Throwing the ball has not worked out. And it looks like Tyler Coleman will come back out.
Interested to see what we do here. Looks like we got trips to the left over here, 3 wide receivers.
That's right. We got Isaiah Allen, Jordan Clark, and Christian Boggs on the left side. But it's a handoff to Jalen Rouse, who is still moving.
Look at that. That's pretty close to a first down. That's a few inches off, if it isn't already.
This season, it's been pretty much Jalen Rouse's year, man. He's been the workhorse of this team. 1,100 yards coming into this game on the season, 13 rushing touchdowns too, not to mention a receiving touchdown.
For sure, for sure.
He's been having a monster year. I believe last game he broke out an 88-yard run.
And welcome to the Richmond Hill game against Effingham. If you are just tuning into our live stream, we are deeply sorry for the technical difficulties that we have had through the network that we are streaming, but now we have a hotspot up. You might experience some in and out audio or some video during this live stream because the hotspot service out here in Effingham is very low. But tonight, bringing us our game is TJ Vander Ark and Wyatt Miracle. So I'm going to pass it off to you guys. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen tonight.
So what you've missed so far, it's been very back and forth. This first quarter, I mean, nothing going for scores. It's been very defensive. 3 fumbles so far for the Wildcat team and a bunch of 3 and outs for the Rebels. Ball security has been an issue here for the Wildcats, and converting has been an issue for the Rebels. And now the Wildcats have the ball here deep in their own 20-yard line. But they had a run there, try to get a first down. It looks like they'll put them short. Didn't move the chains, so we'll be looking at a 3rd and short here.
3rd inches, it looks like. It can't be far from where I'm standing.
And I don't think the game plan is going to change here for Richmond Hill.
Oh, no, run it.
Jalen Rouse put them in that position.
Yep, Wildcat position, look at that.
Direct snap.
That's going to be good. He's going to keep going.
He's still going. Good stumble recovery there.
We did not fall on it. Yeah. The field is a little slippery. I was down there earlier. It's a little slick. The cold weather is definitely helpful, though, making it a little harder on the ground. Impacts are definitely going to be a lot harder. I'm very worried about injuries, pulling muscles, especially in the cold weather. So
we saw one already to start this game with that Effingham player.
Yeah, he did. He stumbled off the sideline. So hopefully the trainers on both sides will keep everyone warmed up, keeping them going.
Another handoff to Jalen Rouse.
Looks like a gain for 5 there. It's amazing how even when he's getting tackled, he still goes for another 2-3 yards and hangs onto that ball. It's very impressive.
It feels like even when there's not a hole for him, he'll still force his way to get more yards.
Yeah, he's not going down for negative without a fight.
There have been some plays throughout the season where we thought he was down and the play was over, and then all of a sudden, he's still running, and he scores a touchdown. So, very electric player for this Wildcat offense. 3 receivers out left. But it's another handoff. Jalen Rouse, he's got some room, and he just made that defender fall over with a stiff arm.
He's
still going.
Looks like he'll be knocked down around the 31, no, the 29-yard line. Look at that.
What a run for Jalen Rouse. He juked one defender and put his hand in the other, and just, there was some open field there to about the 30-yard line. That's a big first down for the Wildcats.
Way to break those tackles, too. He went through at least 2-3 Effingham players.
You know, the Wildcats, they play a lot with their running backs, you know. We got Jalen Rouse. He'll sub in Ashad Robertson. I've seen Kenyon Hunter play running back, and even Christian Boggs will play some there. It's a very big position for us as Ashad Robertson takes one on the left side. He's got some room there, but he'll be taken down at about the 5-6 yard line there. So now the chains will be dropped, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
2 big run plays right in a row. That's got to feel good on offense, really getting in the defense's head.
That's a big 1-2 punch there with Jalen Rouse and Ashad Robertson.
I'd really love to see a touchdown come out of this. It's a lot better and a lot bigger of a hit than just a field goal.
Well, we got a familiar formation here with the 3 receivers on the left.
Handoff to the right. Look at that.
Jalen Rouse cuts in. Touchdown.
Not even touched. No one came near him. That was beautiful. He just walked right in there.
What a juke by Jalen Rouse. Just perfect cut inside, and there was nothing in front of him but that touchdown there. So that'll push the lead up 6-0. And Britton Williams will come out to hopefully make it 7-0 here.
Kudos to that offensive line, really holding the pocket there for Jalen, making a nice gap. They've been playing really well this year as well.
Here's the extra point. Britton Williams, kick. No call. We're still waiting on it. The refs don't know what happened there.
Looks like they're changing balls here. Looks like we're going to do a redo of the kick with a different football. Not quite sure what happened there.
Well, you know, when it comes to football, there's different balls for kicking, and you know the kickers have their own balls that they use. I guess they used the wrong one.
They may have.
Not sure what happened there.
Okay, looks like there was a penalty called on the field goal. Richmond Hill declined it and just took the extra point, so the extra point was indeed good.
Okay, that was a little confusing here, but Wildcats end this drought with the score with only 3 minutes into the second quarter here. And
still 2 timeouts versus Effingham only has their 1 because they did have to waste one earlier.
You're right, and well, looks like looks like we accepted the penalty, and we're gonna go again.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea what the penalty was. I don't know what's going on, but looks like we're gonna go to kick it again.
So if I had to guess, I would say that maybe we missed the extra point, and there was a penalty for offsides on Effingham, and we accepted it so we can re-kick. That one's good. So now the lead is 7-0 after a really confusing start here. So we'll see the Wildcat defense in a little bit after that good play there.
Yeah, and they had a nice rest, which is really what they needed. They needed a minute or 2 off the field, but they hadn't gotten that due to those 2 fumbles we were talking about earlier.
It's been very bad special teams to start this game for the Wildcats. A lot of fumbles here. Looks like we've hopefully tightened that up a little bit. As Britton Williams kick this thing off here. So, defense-heavy game so far, and the Wildcats get through their mistakes early on in the game.
Wildcats came out with 2 huge running plays, one by Jalen Rouse and the other by, who was it?
Ashad Robertson.
Ashad Robertson, yeah. He's been pretty good this year, too. We talk so much about Jalen Rouse, but we haven't talked about him. He's been coming out every game.
That's a low kick.
Looks like Britton was just punching it out.
And he's met there. They'll say about the 20, looks like the 22-yard line
22,
from where they're at.
23, yeah.
Interesting play there. So the Rebels offense will come out here, 9 minutes left in the half.
Looks like Britton Williams may have, on the kick, stubbed his toe when he was going in for the kick and hit behind the ball, actually, and dug into the ground. That's what happened. He seems to be shaking off something. It is also very cold. I bet you kicking that ball doesn't feel too good.
Oh, it's like a rock. Hopefully that's not too serious, but still decent kick so far for the field position.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Effingham snaps the ball. Looks like they were going for a run play.
Nathan Vickers on the pressure, and that's overthrown.
That pocket broke on him very quickly. That was a good job on the defensive line to get in there and make the play.
Well, it looks like they got a new quarterback in. This time it's number 7, Zach Garcia. Guess they weren't satisfied with the play of Matthew Ford. So now Effingham with some motion outside.
There's 4 wide receivers to the right.
Oh, now like motion inside, and that'll be
toss.
A little bit of a jet sweep there.
Stopped after about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
So Effingham tries to get a little bit of trickery there with that receiver running the ball, but doesn't work out too well. It'll be, well, it's not 3rd and 44, but
looks like it's about
3rd and 4. There we go.
4? Okay.
Play clock was messed up a little bit there. Here's a snap, looks to throw, and that one knocked out. Good play by the defense there, and it'll be 4th down. Rebels will look to punt, and it looks like Buck Baines is going to be out there to receive.
Looks like that'll be a 4th down and 6. The ball's on the 28-yard line. Richmond Hill does have a player back to receive, unlike last time.
Yeah, they've got Buck Baines instead of Kenyon Hunter here.
Bucky definitely has good hands.
There's the kick. That one's driving back a little bit.
Bucky's
Buck
got it.
Takes it in and brings it forward a few yards.
Steps out around the 29, 30-yard line, somewhere in there. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 30.
So the Wildcat offense already back on the field now.
Definitely better positioning than our scoring drive, which was on the 6. So hopefully this is better for the Wildcats.
And this Rebels offense, it's been, I don't think they've been able to convert here on 3rd down.
Right, and they've started to go for try to see if their throw game's going to work. And as you saw, the receiver had it in his hands. It just popped out. It's cold. That's all it is. It was a beautiful throw, and it was right in his hands, and it was cold, and it was like trying to catch a rock. It's not going to work.
There's the handoff there. And he'll get a few yards there. That was Ashad Robertson. So it'll be 2nd and about 4 here now. Looks like we're going with the same formation with those 3 receivers on the left, usually that means run. I don't think we've seen too many throws in this game. Tyler Coleman, handoff, a shot of Robertson. Ooh, hit hard there.
Looks like he got run over right there by Bucky, who got blocked back into him. Good play on defense.
Tucker Wilson there pushed Buck Baines into a shot of Robertson. Good play there. So it'll be 3rd and looks like 7 yards, 6 yards.
7 yards, yeah.
No change in the formation here. Maybe we'll see a throw here.
Definitely. The running back is on the other side. Let's see what happens.
No, it's a quarterback keeper.
Isaiah Allen.
I didn't even notice that Isaiah Allen subbed in at quarterback there.
Yeah, he moved over from receiver. It looked like
That's
he
a
got
first down.
Good 8 yards, putting us at first down.
And that's a big advantage when one of your receivers plays quarterback. He is really fast. He comes in very handy on those Wildcat plays. So 1st and 10 now for the Wildcats. And it looks like Tyler Coleman is the quarterback again. There's a handoff. A shot Robertson. That's a first down.
Man, he picked that ball up and he was running. That brought down around the 45, but I thought more was going to happen with that play. He looked like he was out for the run.
If there wasn't a defender around him, he could have broken free for the touchdown there. He's gotten 2 really big runs to start this game.
And it's looking good, though, for Richmond Hill as they have a touchdown up against the Rebels.
And they're already on the other side of the field here.
Like you were saying earlier, though, this is going to look like it's going to be a short-point game.
Now Jalen Rouse takes the handoff. He's outside, and he'll be stopped short. He'll get about a yard there. And it'll be 2nd down now.
You're right. That was exactly a yard around the 44-yard line right now.
So it looks like a shot Robertson comes back in for Jalen Rouse now.
About the 2nd and 9.
Got those same 2 receivers out on the left. There's a throw there to Jordan Clark.
Oh, Jordan run.
Cuts back outside, and he's brought down.
Man, this cold weather must be affecting them, man. Any other game we've seen, Jordan would have been out, man. He would have been out of there.
Yeah, I mean, he's our leading receiver on the season here. But looks like he didn't get enough for the first down, so it'll be 3rd and 1. And, you know, if you're in a situation like this, it's got to be a run here, I would guess. Looks like we got a shot Robertson in there. Coleman hands the ball off. A shot Robertson.
Oh,
He's got room.
There's the long run.
No one's going to catch him there. That'll be a touchdown.
Touchdown Wildcats. All right, so now we're up almost 2 touchdowns. Let's see if they can get this extra point.
Wildcats are running the ball heavy tonight.
Oh,
Jalen Rouse.
man.
Jalen Rouse and Ashad Robertson. There's been, I mean, I'm at a loss for words right now. Once they get that hole, there's nothing but green grass in front of them. Touchdown for Jalen Rouse. Touchdown for Ashad Robertson on this game.
Here you go, kicking for that extra point.
Snap. Kick is up.
And it's good. So now, as the Wildcats are 2 touchdowns ahead of the Rebels, man, it's looking really, but like we keep on talking about, it feels like it's going to be a low-pointed game. But if it could be a low-pointed game with Wildcats up on top, at least 2-3 touchdowns would be really nice.
I thought it was going to be low scoring until we saw that rushing offense for the Wildcats. It's been deadly so far to start this game. It's been deadly all season. Jalen Rouse and Ashad Robertson, those 2 really good when it comes to just finding the gap and getting through there.
You're right. Man, they're about to kick off. We just had that really, man, second touchdown in a row. TJ, how do you think this has changed the game for tonight?
It's definitely great now that we have that lead back. 2-scoring game, it's definitely a lot better, especially since we're going to be going into halftime in 4.5 minutes. I'm excited to see if the defense can hold up. If they keep playing the way they're doing, I'm excited to see where this game goes.
And the Wildcats could potentially finish this season undefeated in the region.
Yep, for sure.
As, there's a hit there on the return. So Effingham will take the ball here
On the
at about
20-yard line, it looks like. It was a beautiful kick by Britton Williams, brought it right back to the 1-yard line. Effingham was able to return it to the 20. It was definitely a perfect kick. Couldn't do much better than that.
Tyler Bliss with a huge hit on the special teams. Here's a snap there and a handoff. He's
Still
running
Ryan.
outside, but he can't find anything as he's brought down for the loss. Looked like that was Randy Scott. Another receiver there on those jet sweep type runs, but they're not working out for Effingham so far.
Jordan Clark, way to charge in on the tackle there.
Jordan Clark, man, whenever a team gets a big play on us, usually you'll see it stopped by Jordan Clark. Whether that player's 20 yards ahead of you and he's running to the end zone, Jordan Clark's going to chase you down. He's not going to let that happen. Here's a throw, and he's hit immediately. Completed pass, but won't get them much. It'll be third down again for Rebels. Looking to convert their first third down here. I mean, behind 14 points with this first half coming to a close here in 3 minutes, and they've only got one timeout. They're gonna need some huge
They're gonna need
conversions here.
They're gonna need a miracle.
Just to score before this half ends. There's some pressure there.
Pocket
Quarterback's gonna
collapses.
run with it, and he's got some room there.
He'll get that first down and more.
Wow. Looks like Gregory Freitman brought him down, but not before he could get the first down. That was Zach Garcia, that quarterback that they subbed in. So Wildcats defense gives up their first third down conversion here.
That definitely give Effingham's offense a little bit of life there.
There's another handoff to Tyler Boone. He is hit hard.
Ooh, he's brought down hard as well.
Wow.
Timmy Fortson just grabbed him and threw him to the ground.
Great stop by the defense. They've been stopping this run pretty well so far. Only letting that run by the quarterback really get by them. So 2nd and 10 now for the Rebels. Rebels like to go with a lot of receivers out wide. This time they got 4, 1 running back. Quarterback's going to throw, and it's caught.
Looks like a 6-yard gain there by Effingham. It's a good throw, good catch.
Looks like that was Randy Scott on the catch there. Looked like the Wildcats are playing a little bit of zone coverage and not tight enough to get in there. So short gain, 3rd and short now for the Rebels. Try to force an offside call, but it didn't work there. Here's the snap, throw, and it's caught.
Those quick tosses seem to be working out for Effingham right now. They might just keep doing that.
There's a first down. for Randy Scott again. That'll move the chains for the Rebels, and they've now converted
Twice this drive, yeah.
2 of their last third downs here. Starting to see some life in this offense.
Let's see if this Wildcat defense can't come together and stop them.
Rebels want to answer here before this half ends. There's a minute 49 left on the clock. Oh, and some I'm not sure if you can call it miscommunication. The running back looked like he stumbled there. Quarterback was trying to hand off to him.
That would be a loss of about 5 yards, I'd say.
And once he didn't feel the running back coming, I think he hesitated a little and just fell on it. So now 2nd and long. They've been having some issues when it comes to the offense, you know. That's the second play where they've had some issues when it comes to running the ball. Trying to get their footing in. Here's another handoff. Stop short. Tyler Boone with the carry, but he won't get much. 3rd and long here for the Rebels. Time is starting to come to a close here on this first half.
3rd and 12. We'll see if they have an answer here. They still have 1 timeout. Looks like they're going to go for probably 2-3 plays. Try and get it. Nice toss, first down, out of bounds.
There's a throw tipped up, and it won't go anywhere. Alex Jeffries tips the ball, but
there is laundry on the field.
And there's a flag.
Looks like it'll probably be holding. Not sure. It might be against Effingham. Right now the clock is stopped at 26 seconds. Still plenty of time.
That'll be declined. So they'll force the 4th down instead of pushing them back. And there's 26 seconds left in this first half here.
That'll bring up 4th and 12.
Looks like the Rebels are going to go for it here.
They have nothing to lose. Wildcats get the ball in the second half.
So, play clock is going to run now. And it looks like that'll be the last timeout for the Rebels. So they're trying to get something here before this half ends. They're down 14-0. Maybe try to get in field goal range if they can.
I don't know. What do you think? Try and go for a Hail Mary? Because their pocket hasn't been keeping very tight. Or do they try and do a quick flick and then block their way in?
I think they need to get a deep throw on the sideline so they can get out of bounds if they need to.
So they really...
Or maybe a screen pass. A lot of teams like to do that when they're down with little time left. They like to throw those little screen passes, get as much blocking as they can.
Yeah. I think, honestly, that might be their best bet because as of now, their offensive line has not been holding together against the Wildcat defense. And I don't know whether that's a really good defense and bad offensive blocking or if it's just a mix of both. I don't know if I'd put the hands in. I don't know if I put the game in their hands.
Another ball replacement there. Yep, it looks like they're going to punt.
Looks like
so
Buck Baines will be in the back to receive the punt.
Rebels will decide to play it safe instead and hopefully just put this one into halftime.
If you're the Wildcats, I'd receive the punt here and do a quick knee and out, go into halftime.
Well, the Wildcats started this game kicking off, so they're going to receive in the second half.
Yeah, for sure.
So...
And when they're up by 14, there's no point risking an injury or anything like that to score.
You're right. I mean, compared to the games we've had recently, this has been pretty low scoring. You know, we've had some high scoring games, and going into this half only 14-0. It's been a pretty tough game here. The score doesn't do it justice. It's been a lot closer than the score says. So it looks like Wildcats will not kneel the ball. They will try to get a play running here.
See what happens.
Motion inside. Just a handoff there. Jalen Rouse still going. He's on the outside, fighting for it. He'll go out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 5 seconds left in the half. So I thought Wildcats would just run the ball or kneel it, put this one into halftime, but they're not stopping here. And they've got 5 seconds left in this second quarter to put one last play up here.
You know why when you're going against a team like Effingham coming out of this first half, no matter what the point lead is, the higher the better.
Been a very tough matchup here with these defenses. Another run there. Cut outside, but he's brought down Jalen Rouse. So we'll go to halftime here. Wildcats, after a tough first quarter, get 2 rushing touchdowns with Jalen Rouse and Ashad Robertson to put this up 14-0, and we'll be receiving the ball second half.
Is always fun, especially when you know you got some games ahead of you potentially in the playoffs. But there's nothing like finishing another season, seeing how far we've come, and being in a situation that we're in. It makes it really exciting.
Yeah, and before we go into all of Effingham's game that we're going to have, and even after that for the playoff games, let's talk a little bit about this past bye week and even the game before that.
Well, I'll tell you, the bye week, the bye week allowed us to get some guys a little rest, allowed us to fine-tune some things. We were able to kind of go back to our roots and work on some individual stuff and get better at the position play, our stance and starts, all the small things, and we were able to get a lot of our young guys reps and got a lot of good work in over the week. So, you know, now we've flipped the script a little bit, and we're geared towards Effingham. Our coach has been working really hard and gotten that little extra time of preparation. But you know, we tend to focus on ourselves more than we do our opponents, just because we feel like we can control and dictate a lot of the things that happen in a game, and so we used last week as a time to do that. We'll get it going and look for a good game on Friday night.
Man, we really are. All right, stick with us to hear a little bit more about the student athletes.
Whip it Tesla, spinners looking kinda ass. Find me bumping on my feet, I'm sorry that I'm clever. Wear a cap and gown, just make me better. Dodge my ass.
Really? Seriously, you're here in front of me because you're doing this jewel thing. Don't do this here, not only at Richmond High School, but anywhere. You will be suspended, each one of you, for the next 2 days.
I'm faster than myself, it's hard to measure. I'll fall for 2 more racks, not pretty girls, I love her never. Whoa, whip electric, pockets looking hectic. Butterfly doors when I let your...
We got chicken biscuits, McGriddles, and breakfast burritos.
Can I get a McGriddle? You know, let's see.
Can you get me one too, please?
You got your own money?
Max, come on.
Yeah, alright.
Max.
All right, Coach, tell us a little bit about Tommy Bliss. Now, these are some key players that were not featured on the show, so you might have heard their name earlier, but we're going to go ahead and hit it now with the package.
So, well, Tommy's a guy that's a great effort guy. He is focused on the task at hand. He gives great effort every single day that he's around. Very serious guy. You know, you ask him to do something, he's yes sir, and he goes and does it. And what we were asking of him was he was having to get some reps on offense, and he was having to go play scout team offense, and he had 0 breaks, and he was just bang, 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 bang. And when you play the receiver position, it can get a little grueling, and it can wear you down, but he's one of those guys that just digs deep, perseveres, and we're very proud of him, and he got the Scout Team Player of the Week.
Let's take a look.
Tommy Bliss was only 7 years old when he discovered his desire to play football. Now, as a sophomore in high school, Tommy plays as a wide receiver for Richmond Hill Wildcats and was named Scout Team Player of the Week after the game against New Hampstead.
I was just proud. I was happy with the work I had done. It had been a while since I played on the Scout team and really been successful, and so it just felt great.
After receiving Scout Team Player of the Week, Tommy has more confidence in himself, whether that be during practice or at our Friday night games.
I kind of had high hopes for the rest of the season, and it kind of keeps me going. Every now and then when I feel low, it reminds me of what I could do.
Tommy remains determined to perform his best as number 21 on the field as our Richmond Hill Wildcats begin to prepare for the playoffs of the season.
All right, Coach, we have another Scout Team player, Khalil Berry. Tell us a little about him.
Well, I'll tell you, I was very proud to announce Khalil Berry as a Scout Team player and for him to walk out as a captain. You know, this guy that's changed positions multiple times since he's been here at Richmond Hill, and we're still trying to find a fit, but he's been giving great effort on the field, great effort in the weight room. Just all around, he's maturing, and it showed in his practice, and he provided a good look for us and earned the award.
Let's see what they have to say.
I'm Riley Price, and this is Scout Player of the Week.
Khalil Berry plays cornerback for our JV team, and he's extremely proud of himself that he was awarded Scout Player of the Week.
They were naming all the people, like Lifter of the Week and Player of the Week and Academic Player of the Week. And when Coach called my name for Scout Player of the Week, I was like, oh wow, me. I was pretty proud of myself.
He works hard both on the field and in the weight room.
I work really hard. I really have, weight room wise and on the field. And I'm not saying I just want to get noticed or I want to have some type of, oh, look at Barry, but I think I worked hard enough to earn it.
Khalil Berry enjoys the physical contact of football.
I just like the aggression, like physical contact. You can take all your anger out with somebody else. It's get your blood.
Khalil feels supported by his friends and strives to prove those who have doubted him wrong.
There's always going to be somebody or people that aren't going to believe that you have a certain ability to do something. So you just got to be humble and show them, who you're wrong, show them what you can do.
This has been Riley Price reporting for Inside Richmond Hill Football.
All right, Coach, our last player is an academic player, Zach McGowan. Can you tell us a little about him?
Well, Zach's a guy that's done a 180 academically, and he's really given attention to detail and had some great scores on some tests, and teachers have been talking about him in a good way, and very proud of him because, there's a reason that student comes before athlete and student athlete. You got to take care of that school side first, and the fact that he's given that detail and not just floating by matters to me. It matters to our team, but most importantly, it matters to him. And that's the big difference and the big change in his life. And so he's very well deserved of this award.
Let's see.
Thanks, Chandler. Now let's take a look at this week's Academic Player of the Week, Zach McGowan. Zachary McGowan is a determined defensive end for our Richmond Hill High School varsity football team. Zachary has been playing football since he was only 9 years old. He's pushed heavily by his parents, both on the field and definitely in school. Zach always strives to be the greatest in everything he does, and that definitely does not exclude the classroom.
Being able to get good, for the scouts to see me and me get better, stronger, so I can go to college.
Along the support of Zach's parents, the football team and players always push Zach to do the best anytime, anywhere. Congratulations to Zachary McGowan for this week's Academic Player of the Week. This has been Jeremy Smith reporting for Inside Richmond Hill Football. Back to you, Chandler.
We'll be back after the break.
Welcome to Papa's Pizza Dude. I need a large, regular pepperoni pizza. Have a good day.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about this game coming up against Effingham.
Well, we an away game at Effingham. It's exciting. Here over the last few seasons, we've finished out the regular season with a game against them. High quality opponent. They do a good job of playing hard, and they're a lot better than what their record depicts right now. It's going to be a tough game. They got some players on the perimeter. They got some guys up front that can play pretty well. But, like I said before, in our preparation in the off week, we're more concerned with ourselves. The times that we've lost, we've shot ourselves in the foot. We've hampered through what we've done has created an environment where we couldn't be successful. So we try to take that out of the equation and make sure that we're losing to teams that are better than us. And we feel very good about the preparation thus far. We're going to continue to finish and prepare this week and go strong and let the chips fall where they may. But we're in the driver's seat in our region. We need to continue to stay focused one game at a time. Our goal is to be 1-0 at the end of the week, and so excited about another opportunity to play and finish this season out.
Really are. All right, stick with us after the break to hear a little bit more about the playoffs.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Do you get bad grades? Bad at sports? Wish you had friends? Join the Ultimate Frisbee team. Meet new people. Understand sports. Get better grades. And learn to catch a Frisbee like Spot over here. We meet 3 to 5 every Wednesdays and Fridays at the multipurpose field.
Okay, Coach, you just told us that we are in the driver's seat for our region.
We are.
Let's go into a little bit more detail about that.
Well, let's talk about home games. That's one of the advantages of the top seed when you get into the state playoffs is when you're the top seed in a region, you essentially have home field advantage as long as you want it. We couldn't host a semifinal game in the stadium because it's not big enough. It doesn't meet the seating requirements for 6A. But we have an awesome opportunity to play football, highly competitive football in front of a home crowd on a great surface. Well-prepared teams. It's going to be great. We're going to have difficult matchups every week. Everybody's good in the playoffs. You don't match up against any bad teams, and it's exciting. This is what you play for. You play for an opportunity to get into the playoffs, see how you can shake it up. There are teams every year that are unexpected 1 seeds that are successful, that are 4 seeds that have unexpected success, and we're just playing it one game at a time, preparing, resetting, going and attacking the next one, But the most exciting part is we get to do it here. We get to do it in Wildcat Stadium in front of a home crowd, and we can be as live as we want to be. So let's go get it.
Man, we're so excited for that. All right, guys, stick with us for next week as we come back and tell you a little bit more about how we did against Effingham and then how we're going to go off in the playoffs. That's all we've got for today, though. I'm Chandler Espina, and this has been Coach Lizotte with Inside Richmond Hill Football.
Build the hill, baby.
This week on Inside Richmond Hill Football, we'll get caught up on how this week's bye week helped us out for this week's game against Effingham. And later we'll talk about some of the student athletes that didn't quite make it to our show. Stick with us to hear a little bit about how we're going to bring the game to Effingham. All that and more to come on Inside Richmond Hill Football. I'm your host, Chandler Espina, alongside Coach Matt Lizotte. Coach, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Man, really pumped for this Effingham game.
Ready to go. Ready to go. The regular season finale is always fun, especially when you know you got some games ahead of you potentially in the playoffs. But there's nothing like finishing another season, seeing how far we've come, and being in a situation that we're in, it makes it really exciting.
Yeah, and before we go into all of Effingham's game that we're going to have, and even after that for the playoff games, let's talk a little bit about this past bye week and even the game before that.
Well, I'll tell you, the bye week, the bye week allowed us to get some guys a little rest, allowed us to fine-tune some things. We were able to kind of go back to our roots and work on some individual stuff and get better at the position play, our stance and starts, all the small things, and we were able to get a lot of our young guys reps and got a lot of good work in over the week. So, now we've flipped the script a little bit, and we're geared towards Effingham. Our coach has been working really hard and gotten that little extra time of preparation. But we tend to focus on ourselves more than we do our opponents, just because we feel like we can control and dictate a lot of the things that happen in a game, and so we used last week as a time to do that. We'll get it going and look for a good game on Friday night.
Man, we really are. All right, stick with us to hear a little bit more about the student athletes.
Whip a Tesla, spinners looking kinda extra. Find me bumping on my feet, I'm sorry that I'm clever. Wear a cap and gown, just make me better. Dodge my answer.
Really? Seriously, you're here in front of me because you're doing this jewel thing. Don't do this here, not only at Richmond High School, but anywhere. You will be suspended, each one of you, for the next 2 days.
I said that myself, it's hard to measure. I'll fall for 2 more racks, not pretty girls, I love her never. Whoa, whip electric, pockets looking hectic. Butterfly doors, when I let your...
We got chicken biscuits, McGriddles, and breakfast burritos.
Can I get a McGriddle? Let's see.
Can you get me one too, please?
You got your own money?
Max, come on.
Yeah, all right.
Max.
All right, Coach, tell us a little bit about Tommy Bliss. Now, these are some key players that were not featured on the show, so you might have heard their name earlier, but we're going to go ahead and hit it now with the package.
So, well, Tommy's a guy that's a great effort guy. He is focused on the task at hand. He gives great effort every single day that he's around. Very serious guy. You ask him to do something, he's yes sir, and he goes and does it. And what we were asking of him was he was having to get some reps on offense, and he was having to go play scout team offense, and he had 0 breaks, and he was just bang, 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 bang. And when you play the receiver position, it can get a little grueling, and it can wear you down, but he's one of those guys that just digs deep and perseveres, and we're very proud of him, and he got the scout team player of the week.
Let's take a look.
Tommy Bliss was only 7 years old when he discovered his desire to play football. Now, as a sophomore in high school, Tommy plays as a wide receiver for Richmond Hill Wildcats and was named Scout Team Player of the Week after the game against New Hampstead.
I was just proud. I was happy with the work I had done. It had been a while since I played on Scout Team and really been successful, and so it just felt great.
After receiving Scout Team Player of the Week, Tommy has more confidence in himself, whether that be during practice or at our Friday night games.
I kind of had high hopes for the rest of the season, and it kind of keeps me going. Every now and then when I feel low, it reminds me of what I could do.
Tommy remains determined to perform his best as number 21 on the field as our Richmond Wildcats begin to prepare for the playoffs of the season.
All right, Coach, we have another Scout Team player, Khalil Berry. Tell us a little about him.
Well, I'll tell you, I was very proud to announce Khalil Berry as a Scout Team player and for him to walk out as a captain. You know, this guy that's changed positions multiple times since he's been here at Richmond Hill, and we're still trying to find a fit, but he's been giving great effort on the field, great effort in the weight room, just all around.
And welcome back to the game at Effingham, guys. We're back with a 14-point lead once again. Wyatt and TJ have been talking to you through this game on really what we've been going through. We've had a lot of technical rundowns tonight, but I mean, we're trying to be up and running as we go. So let's throw it back to y'all. Tell us a little bit about the past half that we just went through.
It's been heavy on the running here so far. Not much throwing the ball. Effingham did get that passing game started late in the first half, but weren't able to score off it. So the Wildcats are coming into this half, getting the ball, and it's 14-0. So great start here for the Wildcats.
Let's just see if they can hold that lead.
Looks like Jalen Rouse, single returner in the backfield here. Here we go, we're waiting for the kickoff here.
Here's the kick.
Oh, it's a short one. So it's picked up by Christian Boggs. He's got some room on the outside.
Looks like he'll be taken out around the...
And there's some flags. 2 flags were thrown. One at about the 37-yard line and one after the play. Might have been a late hit.
Looks like it might have been.
I was too busy trying to see what that other flag happened for.
I couldn't see him past the Effingham sideline, so he very well could have hit him last and not seen it.
Refs will talk this over. It could be offsetting. Might have been blocking the back on the return or holding or something like that. And he's going to talk it over with the other ref who threw the first flag. This game has been just slowed down tonight by penalty calls. A lot of conversation here with the referees. Now we'll see what the call is here. It'll be holding on the return. And then looks like, I believe it was the late hit on Effingham. So it should be offsetting. And we'll see where they put the ball here. Looks like they'll put it at the place of the first foul.
Anyone else really confused right now?
I'm lost. I thought offsetting would be, where the ball was at.
Right. Looks like Coach Lizotte's not too happy either, but why would he be? He just lost, 20 yards? Not quite sure what the calls were, but looks like it kind of sucks.
All right, so they'll place the ball at the 41 on the left hash here.
That'd be a loss of 15.
So looks like we've got Isaiah Allen here at quarterback, 2 running backs behind him. That's Jalen Rouse and Ashad Robertson, and then the receiver on each side. Here's the snap, handoff, Jalen Rouse, a few yards there.
Kind of tumbles through, gets us to about the 43 right now.
So it'll be second down here.
Looks like about 2nd and 9.
And now Tyler Coleman comes back in, and Isaiah Allen is back out at receiver.
And I want to see them run this ball down the field right now, Wyatt.
You got Jordan Clark on the other side. Jalen Rouse behind Tyler Coleman. He'll take the ball, run inside, but he is met by some defensive players there. Looks like it'll be no gain.
No
So-
game, but they used Tide. Laundry joke for you guys.
So 3rd and long here. The Wildcats.
Let's see if we can't change the tide of this game. Oh, I'm on fire tonight.
That was terrible. That was terrible. Here's the snap. Tyler Coleman looks to throw. He's got some pressure there. Cuts in.
Looks
And
like
he's
gonna
looking to
keep
run
it.
with it. And he's got some room there. He'll get a first down.
Heck, Effingham even shoved him forward a few yards.
So the pass rush forces Tyler Coleman to run, and then the blocking there on that run.
First down and so much more.
Great awareness by all those players that just, once they knew that that ball wasn't going to be thrown, they just switched to blocking, and nothing but just open fields in front of Tyler Coleman there as he fought for that first down. That moves the chains here. Here's the snap. Tyler Coleman's going to throw.
Deep
Looks
ball
for Jordan
Clark.
Clark, and he
Oh.
dropped it.
Looks like he's looking for a pass interference here.
And there's some bit of pushing and shoving there. A little bit of talking after that play. So 2nd and 10 now. We've only seen 2 minutes so far in this second half. But Wildcats are slowly moving down the field here.
Definitely a lot more passing plays that look seem to be tried here. We didn't see any of those from the Wildcats in the first half.
Yes, unfortunately we had some passes dropped in the first half. Tyler Coleman hands it off to Jalen Rouse. Fights for a few.
Looks like he gained 2 yards on the play.
It'll be 3rd down now. And
Looks like about 3rd and 8.
Wildcats looking to convert here. Looks like Ashad Robertson and Jalen Rouse are in here with Isaiah Allen at quarterback this time. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff, and Isaiah Allen, he can throw it, but he's going to run out to the right looking for anything. He is hit hard there.
Looks like
Pushed him out of bounds.
He was just trying to throw it away at that point. He needed any
Well-
play he could get 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, so nothing going there for Wildcats. It'll be 4th down, and looks like Tyler Coleman's going to come out to hopefully pin this one inside the 20-yard line here.
Effingham doesn't have anyone back to receive the punt.
Well, you know, it's been a serious issue in this game. Holding on to this ball. There's a high snap. Tyler Coleman puts that one up on the right, and it
Right on the 20-yard line.
bounces a little bit, but not far enough.
Wildcats touch it on the 20.
So just like a touchback, Effingham will take this one at the 20-yard line. So only 3 minutes so far have gone by in this second half, but so far it's been all Wildcats to begin. And they take 3 minutes off the clock, and now we're going to see Effingham go at it for the first time in the second half. And it looks like Effingham's going to stick with that same quarterback they put in about the second quarter. Zach Garcia. And no. So there was a 5-yard penalty on Richmond Hill. Effingham elected to let them re-kick it. So now from further back, Tyler Coleman puts it up. And this time it bounces further back.
Drop out around the 13-yard line.
So Effingham hoping they could get a return out of that punt, pushing them back 5 yards. This time Tyler Coleman just kicks it a little harder, and it goes even further back than they would have had it. So Effingham takes the 13 now. They're backed up here, exactly where the Wildcats wanted them to be. And this defense, which they've been tough so far, they haven't let much go in terms of running, but Effingham's been able to drop the Wildcats when it comes to throwing the ball here. They'll run, and that'll be short gain there. Tyler Boone with the run up the middle. Doesn't get much, though. It'll be second down. Eight and a half minutes left in this third quarter here. Second and 6 now. Another handoff.
You can stop right at the line. Nowhere to go on that one.
This run defense has been very crucial for the Wildcats. They've been very good today stopping the run. And now it'll be 3rd and 6. Effingham, they've had trouble today when it comes to converting on 3rd down. We'll see what they do here. They got the same formation here with those receivers out wide and that running back on the right. Snap, throws, picked off. That's a touchdown. Kenyon Hunter on the pick 6.
That was a beautiful play. He really read that. I mean, was it just me, or was the ball moving in slow motion in the air?
You're right. It was a bit of a high pass, and Kenyon Hunter playing zone coverage there is watching that quarterback, seeing where he's going to throw to, and the second he sees he's thrown it to the receiver, he cuts inside and gets in front of that one.
Beautiful defensive play. Wildcat defense is now on top of scoring over the Effingham offense.
Yeah.
We don't see that every day.
Brenton Williams here. Here's the snap and the kick, and that'll push this lead 21-0 to start the second half now. Wildcats haven't had much issues here later in this game. They've put them behind. So now Brenton Williams is going to kick off to the Rebels, and they're going to try to get something going here. They've been unable to score here in the first 2 quarters. Unable to score so far in this third quarter. Looks like Kyrie Wallace is going to be out there to return. Wildcats are getting lined up.
Here comes Brenton Williams for the kickoff. It's a nice deep ball. Looks like he'll go to about the 7-yard line.
That one's returnable. And he's pushed out. And wow, there's some extra pushing there after the play ends. Haven't seen too many kicks this season that have been returnable from Brenton Williams. He's usually putting these ones in the end zone.
Yeah, but with this colder weather, the ball's a lot heavier, and it feels like there's more air than there is. So kicker, like Brenton, usually likes to have a lighter ball. And when it gets colder like this, it definitely is going to affect his kicking. Still a beautiful kick.
So Effingham will get the ball at the 25-yard line here. They've got a new drive here to try and put something on the board here. Looks like their left guard isn't even out on the field right now. They're going to call a timeout. I'm not sure what happened there. They had 4 of their offensive linemen out there, 4 out of 5. They were just waiting for that guard to come in.
Yeah, it looks like he was running up last second. Had to waste a timeout. That's 2 wasted timeouts by Effingham today. First one being bad time management, and now players not paying attention. There's really no excuse for that one.
Interesting timeout there. So, Rebels will now have a chance to try and score after that miscommunication error, I guess. They've been having these troubles all through the game. You know, the handoffs that have been just messed up. Out in the field late. Not having a player out on the field at all when you kind of need him. So now, first down for Effingham.
They're at the 25-yard line as well.
Snap, handoff. That's Tyler Boone. Runs outside, and he's brought down. Like he won't get any yards there.
They're bringing it second down.
Gregory Freitman got the tackle.
Freitman. Yes.
So now second down for the Rebels.
It's 25-yard line once more.
Looks like they got 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right.
Second and 10.
Another handoff, but he can't get anything going, and he is by the D-line. They'll get the forward progress. And there's a flag thrown. It might be on that offensive player. It looked like he threw the ball at one of the defensive players there. We'll see what they call it on.
Yeah, I was watching that. He got up real angry.
I mean, they'll get forward progress for the play minus whatever the call is on, or plus, depending on who it was on here.
Man, they're just going back and forth with this right now.
There have been way too many penalties in this game. I mean, we could probably be in the 4th quarter if we didn't have this much time stopping here.
You know, you're right, Wyatt. We haven't even got halfway through.
Yep, it'll be personal foul on the offense. Looks like 15 yards was just enough to push them back where the spot of the foul was initially. So now it'll be, I believe, 2nd and 25. Here's the handoff. And he's met again. And they'll get forward progress there. I think he gained yards. But it'll be a 3rd and a really long here.
That's another flag thrown, Wyatt.
And another flag. I didn't even see that one.
Looks like it's going to be the offense once more. Look at him on the field.
There's been a lot of dead ball fouls here.
That guy's not happy. They need to be careful. Uh-oh.
We'll see what they call it on here. If it's on the offense, it'll be half the distance to the goal line. But instead, nope, it'll be offsetting. Personal foul on both sides. So they'll repeat the down here, 2nd and 25.
It's only highly annoying, but it's okay.
Well, Effingham gets another opportunity here. Another down here to hopefully get some more yards than they did on that run. Get themselves out of that 3rd and long position, hopefully, for them. Wildcat defense is in a great spot. They need to just, you know, slow down with those dead ball penalties. they've been costing them so far. And it looks like there's a timeout.
Not so sure who called that timeout. Hey guys, thank you so much. If you're listening right now, we apologize again for all of the technical difficulties we've had tonight. But we've had a really good night so far. We are 3 touchdowns ahead, and Effingham is 0 right now. We have had, I mean, it's a really cold night, so the Wildcats are playing. It is cold, but so is Effingham. So Wyatt, tell us a little bit about one of the best plays you've seen so far.
Well, that big run by Ashad Robertson was pretty good, but also that pick 6 by Kenyon Hunter to start the second half. Very solid play to set the tone here. And what we were seeing here was an official timeout by the refs. Looks like they're talking over possibly those penalties that were thrown.
That would be, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they came down, either said it was uncalled for or they need to recall the play.
Well,
Wyatt, it is a cold night in Effingham tonight.
Right, it's about, we're in like maybe the 40s and 50s right now.
Yeah. Guys, we're so excited though, because next week, going into our region game, coming out of our region games, going into our playoff games, we get home advantage for being on top in the region.
And we'll see who we play.
Should see who we play around after this game, right?
I believe so.
And the timeout is still going on.
Effingham looks like they will stick with the call there of the offsetting penalties. 2nd and 25. So they're backed up inside their 10 here. Garcia takes the snap, but he drops it, and he's in the back of the end zone. Pushes forward, puts it at about the 1, and it'll be a 3rd and really long now.
Man, our defense has brought them all the way back. You know, that's another thing why.
I mean, that was just a mistake on the offense. Was a little to the right. Garcia couldn't pull it in. It rolls back into the end zone. Good play by him to push it forward and avoid that safety. But now on the 1-yard line, Effingham, they might just run it here just to be safe and run it again.
If this ball were to be fumbled right now, this would be the perfect scenario.
Garcia hands it off, and the running back will get the forward progress. He'll be outside of the end zone. So it'll be a 4th backed up in the end zone. Not great for Effingham. The punter's got less room than he would have if they were, just out on the field. He's got to be heels on the back of the end zone here.
It's going to look good for Richmond Hill, though. Let's see if they do it far or if you punch short this one.
Buck Baines is going to return here. Gets the punt off, but it's a short one. And it bounces out at about the 32.
Man, imagine punting that ball in this weather.
I think he's just happy to have gotten that one off. I mean, you were risking a block there and possibly a safety or a touchdown. So instead, they push it out a little bit, and the Wildcats have great field position this drive. They're at the 32-yard line, it looks like. And, inside Effingham side of the field.
I come into our 1st and 10 right now.
4.5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter here.
And we still have 16.5 minutes left in this game. It's a very slow stretching out game tonight.
Yeah, there have been a lot of time stoppages with penalties and officials, just knocking a bunch of things over so far. We're still waiting for this play clock to get started. There we go. One receiver out on the right, but it's handed off to Ashad Robertson. Cuts back in. He's got a bunch of room there.
Man, he wiggled his way around that spot, bro.
And there's a penalty. This one might be going back. It looks like in the backfield it'll probably be holding on the offense.
I saw that flag thrown. I thought it was one of our players yellow.
Looks like 2 officials felt the need to throw the flag, so must have been very obvious. They'll say 2 holding calls. So,
better walk back quite a little bit.
Well, so I didn't know that.
Brings him to about the 42. And they walked all the way back to the 48 right now.
I'm not too sure how 2 holding calls pushes you back almost 15 yards. Usually you can only, you have to accept one or the other. You can't accept both. All right. Handoff to Ashad Robertson. He falls down. They'll lose some yards there. Now back on their own side of the field here. 2nd and 27.
This is be on the 49-yard line right now.
2nd and 29.
And they just keep on getting brought back. And there we go.
There'll be a flag. Looks like the official's calling for offsides. So that'll push the Wildcats up a little bit. That'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll be 2nd and 24. I mean, not much better, but better than being backed up at your own 50-yard line here. Coleman takes the snap, looks to throw. He's got Jordan Clark, who can't get it. Throwing the ball has been troublesome here.
What a good attempt, though.
2 drops from now, 1 drop from Tavion Cheney.
Feel kind of bad for him tonight.
Third and long here now.
It's got to be cold outside, though, like, for real. Why? Imagine catching one of those balls and then, like, it slipping out of your hands.
Well, I mean, I've experienced throwing around a football, you know, in cold weather. It is not easy to catch, especially when you're cold. Your hands are not feeling great. Your movements are a lot slower. Tyler Coleman throws deep. Clark, but he had 3 people around him. And he is slow to get up. He'll limp off the field. Hopefully it's not serious.
Guys, the score right now is still 21-0. We haven't quite made it out of the third quarter yet, but we do have 3 minutes and about 26 seconds left in the third quarter. It's a really, really, really slow-moving third quarter.
Tyler Coleman is going to punt this one. That's a really high snap.
It's not a bad
That
punt,
one goes deep, and it bounces forward. And the Wildcats will down that one inside the 5. That's a great punt. They'll put it at, it looks like the 2-yard line. And the Rebels are backed up in the same spot that they had to punt from earlier in this game.
For as high as that ball was, I was kind of surprised that the punt turned out as good as it did.
Good play by the special teams to down that one. And Rebels are in a familiar place here, backed up in their own end zone. They're hoping to not have any errors like they did when that snap was pushed to the right. So anyways, both receivers out on the right. Handoff, Tyler Boone doesn't get much, but he'll push forward for maybe a yard. Second down now. 2nd and 9. Ball's now on the 2-yard line, so it looks like it was placed at the 1 to start.
2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining right now.
Although the ball looks like it's at the 4-yard line.
Might have gained more than we thought.
Garcia takes a snap, hands off, and he is pushed out, but he'll get some forward progress there at a 1-yard line. Tyler Boone on the run again. They'll put him at the goal line. So 3rd and long, backed up at the 1-yard line. And Rebels probably going to run the ball again. I don't think you want to risk a pass being this deep in your end zone. Because, you know, possibility for them to come in with the sack.
Chance there right now.
3rd and 10. Garcia takes a snap, hands off. Boone is hit hard. Stopped. See what the play call is. Did he push forward enough for it to be outside of the end zone? They'll place him at the 1.
My goodness.
So Wildcats again can't force a safety, but Effingham will be punting inside their own end zone again, as this 3rd quarter is coming to a close here with a 1.5 minutes left.
We do say coming to a close, but I mean the reality of it is they play like they have been playing. This could be another 15 minutes.
Yeah. This game's been very slow. So the punter backed up in his own end zone once more. Here's the punt. Almost blocked it. Buck gets it at about the 36, and he's still going. He's got blocking inside the 10. Hit hard at the goal line area.
Brought him up. He must have got super close, though.
Oh, he got hit hard on that play, and I don't think he's getting up right now.
Buckley's good. He's fine.
Okay. Looked a little concerning, but he did a great job on that return, putting this Wildcat offense inside the 5.
That man was like a door stomp.
And the Wildcats, they're pretty much one direct snap to Jalen Rouse away from a touchdown. So, under a minute here in this 3rd quarter.
Ball is brought to the 1-yard line. First and 10, but we really need 1.
Jalen Rouse fakes the direct snap. They snap it to Buck Baines instead. But he won't get the touchdown. Ball will be at the 1.
Here comes our next snap that we're hopefully 1 snap away from.
Yep, 2nd and goal to go here. Clock is running. Looks like we'll get possibly 1 more play here.
Guys, there's 20 seconds left.
And an Buck. He pushes forward, but it looks like he'll be stopped again.
As the clock runs down and ends out the 3rd quarter.
So, ending the 3rd quarter here, we'll go into the 4th at the goal line on a 3rd down, looking to push that one in, hopefully. You know, we're hoping to go into this fourth quarter with a 4-touchdown lead. Looks like we'll have to try to start this fourth quarter with a 4-touchdown lead. But anyway, you know, Effingham is scoreless in this game. Our defense has been on top of their game so far.
It's not too bad. Wyatt, tell us what you think about this left.
Well, I mean, it started with Kenyon Hunter getting that pick 6. And after that, it has been too much. It's been a lot of 3-and-outs. Been able to push Effingham back into their end zone, forcing them to punt from there. And we've been able to take advantage of the field position. But haven't seen an offensive score so far in the second half. Since Jalen Rouse and Ashad Robertson had those 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half.
And then they had, of course, that was defense with the interception. But as we're line right now, hopefully we'll make it in.
So the offense comes back out, and we're looking at about the same play call here. Jalen Rouse possibly will take the direct snap unless they do a little bit of trickery again. And outruns. Can't see who that is. Alex Jeffries. Looks like they'll just give it to Jalen Rouse this time as he runs in. Touchdown! Jalen Rouse has got 2 on the game now. And that pushes 27-0.
Hopefully that'll make this last quarter go by a little quicker. I mean, but Effingham could still try and push their luck.
I mean, it's not impossible, but a comeback is, you know, really improbable here.
And you're right. You know, TJ, what do you think? What do you think this last quarter has brought to the table?
Here's Britton Williams
Honestly,
with the kick. And 28-0 now on the game.
This has been a fun game so far, hasn't it, Wyatt? 28. No, it's really just been dominated by the Wildcats here. Effingham's only had a couple plays. It's really happened for them. Yeah, that's basically my perception of the game is Wildcat, Wildcat, Wildcat.
And credit to that defense for keeping Effingham scoreless. So, kick off again. Haven't seen him put one in the end zone yet, but hoping to get this one back there. Maybe he's warmed up a little bit. Effingham's going to have 2 returners there. Hoping to receive. Hoping to put this one in the end zone. Here's the kick. That's one of the best ones yet. That one out the back of the end zone. Britton Williams gets his first touchback of the game.
So deep. Still a lot shorter than we're used to with Britain. Definitely would do the weather, though.
Effingham gets the ball probably in their best field position so far in this half. They've been close to the back of their end zone a lot in the second half. Now they're finally at least at the 20. Their offense hoping to get something going here. Put up any kind of score as we get into this fourth quarter. And it looks like we might stop the clock here.
Looks like it was the officials calling the timeout.
All
Tucked
right.
in jerseys and stuff. All those undershirts and all that due to this cold weather.
Snap. Garcia, he's going to run out and throws a really high pass. That one hits the tent.
You know, maybe that was his intended target. It looked like he didn't really want to make a pass or anything. He just needed to get the ball out of there, keep the gain.
Well, there was a receiver in the area, so it won't be intentional grounding. Again, he got outside of the pocket, so. Or outside of the tackle box, I mean.
High IQ play.
I mean, you know, when nothing's open, you don't want to take the sack, so.
Very smart.
2nd and 10 now. Effingham will try again. They'll fix the ball placement here. And, you know, if we look at the roster here, number 5, Tyler Boone, he's the running back. On the roster, it says he's a receiver. Not sure if he plays both positions. But anyway, Zach Garcia with more pressure, and he gets taken down there. That's Alex Jeffries on the tackle. Looks like he got a sack. So now it'll be 3rd and long. And, you know, it's just been a rough day here for Effingham. They've not been able to get much going on these 3rd downs. Here's the play. They got 5 receivers. Empty set in the backfield. Here's the snap. Garcia throws it. It's over him, and it's almost picked off. But it goes out of the hands of the defender there. I believe that was Jordan Clark who almost had it, but that was a great deflection regardless. And it'll be 4th down. Effingham will go out to punt.
Buck Baines in the back to
and there'll be another clock stoppage here. Looks like it'll be the placement of the ball that they're fixing. And now we'll see the punt here. Looks like they're going max per 10 on the punt here. A really high punt, very short, and Effingham will let it bounce.
This should be on what, the 47-yard line?
Yeah. That'll be, well, they'll place it at the 46, but that, not a great punt here. That one goes just, that gets a lot of air, but not much.
Definitely not what they were looking for.
So Wildcat offense takes the field again. Now with 10 minutes, 40 seconds left in this game. And I think at this point, it's time to start running the clock here. Although we've been doing that all game. Looks like today's going to be all about running the ball here.
Can't do much with this weather.
Oh, Tyler Coleman throws it while pressured, and no one's going to catch it there.
To be honest with you, he's lucky that wasn't intercepted. It landed right in the middle of 2 Effingham players.
Yeah, maybe a bad decision to throw into that coverage, but
He didn't take the sack.
right. And luckily it wasn't picked off. It was just out of the range of all those players. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now. And looks like they're going trips right. Robertson at the backfield. Here's a snap and handoff. Ashad Robertson tries to fight through the hole, but he's brought down.
We're down on the 40-yard line.
That'll be 3rd and about 4 or 5 there. Wildcats looking to convert here and run more time off the clock if they can. Effingham looking to get a stop here and try to get something going on their offense. They've been unable to do anything so far in this game. Same formation here for the Wildcats. Snap. Fakes the handoff, and that's caught. I believe that's Christian Boggs.
Good gain of about 10 yards.
That might be one of the first receptions that the Wildcats have gotten so far. I'm not sure if we've...
It seems like all the passes that have been caught so far on either side of the ball have been the quick passes. None of the waiting for the long ones or anything. Just right off the snap. Quarterback has the ball for maybe 2-3 seconds. Hurry up offense sort of idea.
And it looks like we're in stat padding split. Anyone who hasn't seen much in this game, get a little more. Here's the handoff to Ashad Robertson. Cuts in. What a juke there.
Quite the play. Gain of 8.
Faked out that defender. And it'll be a 2nd down now. again. The run game has been the story of this game so far. Shad Robertson and Jalen Rouse, they've been doing a lot so far. 2 touchdowns for Jalen Rouse and 1 for a shot. They're looking to get Shad Robertson maybe a second. Tyler Coleman instead throws off the hand of Isaiah Allen.
Looks like now they have that one completed pass play. They want to see if they can do some more with that.
Yeah, and it looks like Jalen Rouse is coming back in the game.
So
this is a 3rd and short here, so I mean, situation like this,
quick
probably,
run, get the yard.
Especially when you're subbing in Jalen Rouse.
You got Bucky, so you got that extra tight end, bigger body.
Good on that blocking. He plays almost like a...
Yeah, he does.
And that's a first down and a lot more there.
Good play all around. Way to get the blocks by the offensive line. Definitely Bucky, who kind of just pushed the Effingham players out of his way.
He leads the way for Jalen Rouse to get that first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 now in line.
Jalen Rouse has really been impressing me tonight. It takes about 2 or 3 players to take him down. So, way to just keep his feet moving.
And he's been able to hold on to that ball when that's been a serious problem for this team.
Yep, for sure. Trips right again.
Coleman's going to throw once more, and this Christian Boggs again
gets to about
pushes
the 5-yard
forward.
line.
They'll have him down at, it looks like, the 4 or the 3-yard line. Christian Boggs, I think he's the leading receiver in this game.
Yeah, he's definitely had a couple.
And it looks like Tyler Coleman's going to sub out. Isaiah Allen will come in at quarterback. And trips right again. This time Tavion Christian Boggs, and then a Shad Robertson at running back. Snap. Isaiah Allen keeps it. He's fighting for it.
He fights just to get back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like.
So this time it'll be 2nd and goal. And it looks like Tyler Coleman's going to come back out there. And Isaiah Allen's going to go back out to receiver now with Jordan Clark on the right side. It's trips right, but this time there's 2 receivers. And Shad Robertson still in at running back. They'll hand it off. Shad Robertson cuts inside. He's got a touchdown. That's his 2nd.
Didn't even get touched. Waited. Did you see that blocking? That was a giant hole for him. He didn't even have to dodge and weave his way in. He just went right through.
And Shad Robertson, he is an elusive back here for the Wildcats, and
he's
very
fast.
good.
He's so quick. That's his big thing.
He can change direction on a dime. So the lead now 34-0. Brenton Williams coming out to put this extra point through. And that's good.
Looks like there's a flag on the play, though. Offsides, it'll be declined by the Wildcats. So that means the kick is good. The score is now 34-0.
Or not.
Or we're going to...
I've been really confused by what's happening here.
It was, so the call was offsides by Effingham. I guess so if the penalty was declined, so we didn't feel like moving up a yard. Perhaps.
Well, I'm through. If you decline the penalty, it'll be a field goal no matter what. So maybe it didn't go through and we missed
that, yeah.